It is a shame when you have a podcast and you got nothing to talk about. Fortunately, that's not us tonight. It is the Full 9 Yards podcast. I am BJ Walters from KDAK, the Cardinal in Carrington, and this week we decided to put my coworker back to work.
Yeah.
That's Ricky Clovercamp down at KDDR, the Tornado in Oaks. Ricky, no more bye weeks. Get to work, buddy.
Yeah, well, you know what? The wine last week was hitting just fine, and I decided, you know what? This week I'll work a little bit to earn my wine, and then I'll have to come back home and drink it up because, well, it's going to be cold.
Yeah, how about that? It's going to be October weather in September. This does not make any sense.
No, it doesn't, and I don't think any of the kids are going to be happy about this at all, especially down here in Oaks. I mean, and me down here in Oaks, I'm sitting on scaffolding tonight. I have a co-partner joining me, though, so that'll be fun. An Oaks alum going to join me, but it's going to be just miserable up there on that scaffolding unit. I am wearing my coat. I am going to be wearing my heated gloves, and I'm bringing a blanket.
I think the only piece of the ensemble missing is the jacket that you wore to state basketball last year.
Well, that jacket that I wore to state basketball is back in I don't know where it is, probably hanging up in some Hall of Fame somewhere.
So what exactly happened last week? Well, 2 number ones went down. A team had 10 yards of offense. A team that hasn't been good in I don't even know how long is 2-0 after an upset win. And there's no offense in North Dakota this year.
None.
We'll talk about all of that here on the Full 9 Yards. But Ricky, we got to start in our classification because it's time to take a good hard look at Velvet Garrison Drake Animus. They have now scored 24 points in 2 games. And last week they lose to Harvey Wells County when they were ranked number 1 in the state, 10-8.
Velvet Garrison Drake, and they haven't scored anything in like the first half, have they?
They have not scored a single point in the first half this year. That's exactly right, because it was 0-0 with Valley City at the half, and it was 10-0 at halftime against Harvey Wells County.
And that leads me to the question, well, how good is Velva's defense then? Because, I mean, they've only given up, like 10 points now, but still, I mean, it's against Valley City, who everybody's kind of going into the year going like, yeah, Valley City. Well, for some reason, the people that should know about Valley City were saying like, oh, well, Valley City, they're going to come on in. And then there's us who go like, well, Valley City's really been struggling, and we knew they weren't going to be that great. The fact that Valley City held Velva to nothing and Harvey Wells County held them to 8, and they only scored a couple points. Valley City's offense not good. Harvey Wells County's offense is, fine. How bad is Velva as just a full team then?
Well, we knew they lost a lot. We knew they lost Ben Shep, who was a 4-year starter at quarterback. It's not easy to replace that, but I'm concerned because Harvey's good, but they don't have their running back, and they won't have him for the whole year. Their quarterback from last year graduated. Like, this is not the kind of team that I thought would be beating Velva.
No, and this was completely out of left field for, I think, everybody in the state. This put everybody on notice that Velva's beatable. Harvey Wells County it gets that statement win that, they've probably been looking for years now, and especially after losing to Eek last week or 2 weeks ago for Harvey Wells. That's a huge win, and now they have to play definitely a harder team in Langdon.
Yeah, how about Harvey Wells County? They beat number 1 last week. Their reward, they go play number 1 again this week. We'll get to that in the second segment. I want to highlight a team in Region 1, Ricky, because talk about coming out of left field. Hillsborough Central Valley beats Thompson on the road 28-20. I did not see that coming. I thought for certain Thompson would start 3-0 because they have Turtle Mountain tonight. And the Burros instead go over there, and that's 2 nice wins for Hillsborough. They've beaten Grafton and beaten Thompson.
Yeah, I don't get how Hillsborough Central Valley has gotten these 2 wins. 28 points both times, only giving up around 20 points. That's a pretty good win for both of them. And Hillsborough hasn't been good for a couple years here. I'm grabbing the Burros' records here from the previous years. Last year they were decent. They made it to the quarterfinals, losing to Langdon. The year before that, though, they've just been kind of middling. They've been middling for a couple of years here, and they haven't even been in the Oaks, this Region Region 1 for a couple years again, but at least, oh gosh, they haven't been in Region 1 in ages. Weird that they're in Region 1 this year.
Yeah, and so this is going to be really interesting because we talk about how wide open Region 1 is. Hillsborough Central Valley is off to a good start, and a lot of that region, as we'll talk about in the second segment, a lot of Region 1 is going to be get momentum. Just get momentum. That's all it's about. Because after Eek, it's not very good.
You got Eek, and then you have, my guess is going to be Oaks is next, and then Hillsborough, and then there's everybody else.
And that everybody else includes Sargent County and Valley City, who neither team scored last week. Valley City hasn't scored this year. Their starting quarterback has a broken collarbone. Their starting running back left last week's game.
Valley and they didn't
City
start until 9 o'clock last week.
I was just going to say, Valley City tried to cut a deal with Mother Nature to not have to play Langdon.
And for some
it
reason,
didn't work.
I don't understand how they played that game that late. They were determined to get that game in.
And it's not like they had to play it.
No.
It's a non-region game.
No, I don't understand why you play that game after like that long. You're like, okay, 7 o'clock start. Okay, we're pushing it back 15 minutes. Pushing it back 15. We're gonna push it back an hour. Okay, we're gonna push it back another hour. 9 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, I can say I've not experienced in my 22 years doing this. I have not had a 9 o'clock kickoff.
Neither have I, and I hope I never have to experience that either. I do feel bad for our good friend Jerry over that was up in that press, but he gets a nice press box, so you know what, he shouldn't complain.
I will say I've had a 2:15 a.m. first pitch, but that's a story for a very, very different show.
And that's that comes up in baseball season. Don't worry about that.
It certainly does. All right, Sargent County.
There's no reason for them to be up here.
I think
I feel bad for them.
I think if we are after competitive balance, if that's really what we're after, Sargent County should have been a 9-man team this year.
Definitely, no doubt.
They had a first down on the second play of the game against Carrington, an 11-yard run. Their other 31 plays went for a grand total of -1 yard. I mean, come on. We've got to, and I don't want to criticize anybody by saying this, but it needs to be said. The point of high school sports is participation.
Yep.
How does it drive up participation
when you're getting smoked?
Exactly. And I don't understand how that helps participation at all.
And you said it, Sargent County's only touchdown this year comes off of a defensive touchdown.
Yep, against Park River. That's right.
And obviously Sargent County's got something of a defense. I mean, they stopped your Cardinals from going rampant on them.
Well,
only at 14 points, but that could be a different story. But Sargent County, yeah, it's just, this is a team that I went into the year, and I was saying at the beginning of the year, there's no reason for them to be up in 11A. Why are they up here? This is not good for the program. This is not good for the three towns.
It's not good for the sport.
No, I feel, and I said it, I feel bad for Sargent County, and I just I'm pulling from every single game though.
Oh, I am too. And tonight's interesting. We'll get to it, but Sargent County plays Valley City. I mean,
super tank ball.
All right, so the other thing that we mentioned is that 2 number ones went down in AAA. Legacy blew out number 1 Cheyenne. A bit of a surprise, I think. A bit of a surprise.
Yeah. I mean, I don't follow too much of anything higher than Class A. I'll check in on it just because I want to see how Wapaton's doing. But yeah, AAA Legacy demolishes West Fargo Cheyenne. West Fargo Cheyenne is that team that everybody was kind of fearing at the beginning. Oh, they're going to run away with it again. No, Legacy just came on and put a stop to that instantly. I did not see that coming.
I did not either. Now, we mentioned at the start that offense is just down everywhere. Now, Ricky, you've had one game and you saw perhaps the best team in 11A. Mm-hmm. So it's not a problem right now in Langdon because you have Jax Johnson. But I've seen 2 14-0 games. Delax Burlington beat Rugby 8-6. In 0 week, you had games ending 16-0 and 12-6. And then last week, even in 9-man, Griggs Midcoda beats Maple River 14-6. Now, I'm sorry, that's just not a 9-man score. So my question is this just the natural ramping up into the season, or are there deeper offensive problems right now across North Dakota?
There's deeper. I think it's just, I don't want to say it's deeper offensive. I want to say that it might just be early season jitters, or either that or the defense defenses are just coming up to play now. I remember last year we had a lot more offense everywhere, and now the defenses are really coming up to play. And I haven't seen like a rise in flags or anything. I think it's just the defenses are here to play. That's seriously what I think. Defenses statewide have just stepped it up.
They're doing a great job. I mean, you think about it. Lisbon has scored 1 touchdown. Valley City has not scored a point. Sargent County has scored 1 touchdown. Carrington has scored 2 touchdowns in 2 games total. It's interesting. I never imagined rugby in Des Lacs Burlington would be 8-6. That never crossed my mind that it would be that kind of a game.
No, and I don't know. I think that, as I said, it's a statewide thing where you're getting defenses that are just stepping up. And I do think that offensive play here in the state has not always been too great, to say the least. Like the passing plays are not always there. I think we were seeing a big boom of offense just a couple years ago, but I think right now we're kind of regressing back to that mean of like, okay, the defense is stepping back up again. Offense is going to have to step up if we're going to want to see anything going. And I mean, we did see a single-digit 9-man game, I guess. Griggs Mid-Coda and Maple River it was 14-6.
Yeah, just wild. By the way, no problems in the 9-man for New Rockford, Cheyenne, Maddock. And man, I know we're September. You shouldn't rush your life, but I really can't wait to see New Rockford, Cheyenne, Maddock, and Lemoore again in the state championship.
All right, it's going to be a fun one. Oh, by the way, before people are really angry about me for saying Hillsboro made it to the playoffs last year, they didn't. I accidentally clicked on Killdeer again, just like last week. Yeah,
so
I was like, wait a second. No, they did not. No, Hillsboro's not been good for a couple years here.
Yeah, well, Hillsboro Oaks is one of the games that we're going to talk about on the backside of this break, because I think it's the most fascinating game by far in Region 1. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what's to come tonight when the Full 9 Yards podcast continues in a moment.
Guard Dental in Carrington has your smile on the mind. Guard Dental specializes in orthodontics, cosmetic dentistry, teeth whitening, dental crowns and bridges, dental veneers, dental implants, general and family dentistry, root canals, clear aligner orthodontics, sedation dentistry, dentures, lasers, TMJ therapy, and wisdom teeth removal. Call Guard Dental today for family dentistry and beyond. Guard Dental in Carrington, 701-652-2300.
Your first car. It may have been a fixer-upper, but you treated it right. It was your own. That's how Showplace Cabinetry approaches each crafted piece. We deliver it to you with care, because it's our own. Central City Lumber can help you choose the design of your dreams. Give them a test drive. This American-made cabinetry is adaptable to your unique style and built with pride. Every single piece is back for a lifetime. Bet you wish you had that deal on your car. Stop in at Central City Lumber of Carrington, and let's build a beautiful kitchen or bath that really turns heads.
Life is about moments, big or small, joyful or challenging. At Carrington Health Center, we believe everyone in our community deserves compassionate care close to home, so you can focus on enjoying those moments surrounded by the people you love. At our facility, we put the care in
physical therapy,
radiology,
the acute care clinic.
Choose Professional Eye Care Centers. 3 great reasons are Dr. Bond, Dr. Freilich, and Dr. Jangula. 3 of the most educated professional optometrists you'll ever meet. Next is their many locations. You can now see one of their spectacular doctors in Jamestown, Valley City, Carrington, Edgeley, Ellendale, and Lemoore. And finally, their fantastic selection. And yes, all of their frames and lenses are backed up by warranty. Visit proeyecarecenters.com and make an appointment today. Professional Eye Care Centers, clearly the best. Carrington Drug, your independently owned Good Neighbor Pharmacy, salutes caregivers everywhere. The ones who aid an aging parent or nurturing a sick child. The fact is, we are all caregivers at different times, and your community pharmacist is ready to go above and beyond to support you with encouragement and guidance, good times and bad. Visit with Matt Paulson and his expert staff at Carrington Drug, 415 Main Street in Carrington, caring for you and our community.
The fun is always on tap. I'm headed to Headlocks. Headlocks. Headlocks.
Head on over to Headlocks of Carrington for some great deals after the Cardinals game. If you and your friends come in sporting any Cardinals gear, you'll not only receive the friendliest service around, but also special discounts. Ask for more details and visit us on Facebook for all of our happenings.
The fun is always on tap. I'm headed to Headlocks. Headlocks. Headlocks.
Headlocks, Carrington, North Dakota.
Welcome back to the Full 9 Yards. Ricky Clovercamp here, kicking off segment number 2, as I've always done. And we bring in BJ Walters, of course, from Carrington, KDAK the Cardinal up there. Going into this week's slate of games, we're going to kick it off with the biggest game of the week, and that is Harvey Wells County at Langdon area Munich, number 5, number 1. Harvey Wells County coming off of a number 1 win. Maybe they can get 2 in a row, BJ.
Well, if you remember last year, Harvey Wells County led the entire game. Langdon scored with 13 seconds left, went for 2 and got it to win 43-42. I don't know that Harvey has the explosiveness offensively. If Langdon scores 40 points, Harvey can't win this game. So they have to keep it lower scoring, but 2 very physical football teams. I mean, super physical football teams. This is fascinating to me because I think we all now believe that Langdon are the best team in the state. Yes, you can make a case for Ellendale Edgeley-Colm. Absolutely you can. But right now, Langdon's probably the best team in the state. But for some reason, they have always struggled to put Harvey away. And so we'll see. I'm fascinated at how this goes tonight.
Yeah, last year's 43-42 was, we talked about that last year, too, in that week 4. And we're going to have to talk about it again week 4 next week, too.
We are, yeah.
And I mean, I'm looking at Harvey's schedule here, and it's basically the same first 4 games as they did last year. It is literally the same first 4 games from last year. My God, it's like a repeat almost, except for them beating
schedule's
Velva.
The exact same.
Yeah. But I think Harvey pulls this one off. I say Harvey pulls this one off. I say they get the win. They shut down Jax Johnson. Langdon loses just because I really want Langdon to lose, and I understand. I'm just saying this because I really want Langdon to lose, but I want Harvey Wells to win this game. I think they can win this game, and I think they will win this game.
I think it's going to be super close. I don't know who's going to win it, and I would not dare try to pick this game, but I think it's going to be fascinating to follow it throughout the night.
Another game that's going to be very fascinating to watch is the Super Tank Bowl that is happening up in Valley City. The Bulldogs and the Highliners 0-2, and both teams have about between them they probably have 130 150 yards of offense between them over the first 2 games. It's going to be a good one.
Well, we know Sargent County has 59 yards through 2 games.
I think Valley City's sitting at about probably 100.
Yeah, maybe. Neither team has scored an offensive touchdown. Valley City is incredibly banged up, and Sargent County has a decent quarter. I like the Fury kid. He just had no time to do anything last week.
Yeah, he's a good pitcher too.
Yeah, I have a hard time saying that Valley City's going to lose to Sargent County, but I've seen nothing to tell me that Valley City's going to beat Sargent County. These 2 teams, here's the thing, nothing the last 2 weeks matters. This is the region opener. It starts for real, and guess what? One of these teams will be tied for first place at the end of the night.
Yes. It's going to be an interesting game. I will not pick this one. This one I don't have the confidence to pick, mainly because I think that it's just going to be fun. I think this one, you just going out, if you're Sargent County or you're Valley City, this is just one of those games you go on out there, you just have a good time. And especially Sargent County coming up a class here, you're playing a team that came down from 2A last year. Honestly, just have a good time with this one.
Yeah, it's like in soccer, promotion and relegation, it's like Southampton playing Wrexham. I mean, it really is. Like 2 divisions separated them last year. Now they're in the same division. Have a good time with it. I do want to ask about that other Region 1 game, though. Do you have any confidence that Lisbon will go to Hunter and beat Northern Cass?
Oh, I don't know. I
just feel like Lisbon can't possibly be as bad as they have played so far.
Let's see. Last year, Lisbon won 36-22. They dominated them. But also, and last year they had a rough go of it in their second 2 games. Maybe this year's just a flip of last year, where they won the first 2 games without scoring a single, by not allowing a single point. And this year, then they lost their next 2 games by only scoring 8 points and giving up a ton. Maybe this year they win the next 2 without letting the other team score at all.
Because I do think Northern Cass is a little better. I mean, them beating Ray Powers Powers Lake was
big.
very interesting.
Yeah, Hunter beating Ray Powers Lake is that's, yeah, I don't even understand how, and that was their first ever meeting.
That's right.
With Ray.
First ever meeting.
So
I'm very interested to see how that game goes, just because I keep expecting that Lisbon will wake up.
I do. I think that they will. I think they can get into that slide into that 3 or 4 seed. They definitely can slide into a 3 or 4 seed and fight for that 2 in the region. It's just going to be a matter of when they wake up, as you said, because if you don't wake up tonight or next week against Valley City, it doesn't get easy until probably the end of the year again.
And by then they'll be eliminated like they were last year.
Yeah, you want to win this game. You want to win that next game. Then you have Oaks and Ellendale. Those are your 2 big ones right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can kind of go back to it with Mayville, have a date with Hillsborough team possibly, and then round out the year with Sargent County. So.
Yeah, and you want that Sargent County game to matter because that's a game you can win.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, just fascinating.
The other Region 1 game, Mayport CG versus Eek, and that's Eek gonna walk up to Mayport and just call it a night after probably 20 minutes. And yeah, that's less said about that one, the better for Mayport.
Yeah, I'm so impressed by Eek. I think they are.
Told you.
This is the team most like their 2016 state championship.
Told you.
Well, you did. And I'm playing that
year.
smash mouth. I'm a believer because I'm a believer in Eek.
I have been a believer in Eek ever since that first that second week win last year when they beat Bismarck Shiloh Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I was a believer. Then I became a true believer after they beat Oaks 28-20.
They are a very, very well put together football team.
Yeah.
Very well put together.
Yeah, I like Eek. Ellendale Edgeley Cullum can they can put something together. They are going to go, and this is the year that they go through that opening round. This is the year for the first time since 2017, mind you. This is the year they do that. I think they can go all the way.
I think they can too. Especially if they're at home. If they get a top 4 seed, yeah, look out.
The other game that's in Region 1 is the game you'll hear right here on KDDR, the Tornado. The home opener for the Oaks Tornadoes, Hillsborough Central Valley, coming to town, and we get to see how good the Burros actually are.
This is the most fascinating game in the state to me tonight in Class A. The reason why is nobody spoke a word on Hillsborough Central Valley in preseason. Here they are 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
We all think Oaks is going to be good, and it is unfair to judge them off one game on the road at Langdon. It's totally unfair to judge them on that. But Ricky, Oaks needs to win this game to prove all of us right.
Yes, Oaks does need to win this game, and this is the game that this was their final win last year. They beat Hillsborough 33-7. Hillsborough hasn't beaten Oaks since the 20-0 win in the Class B quarterfinals back in 2022. Since then, they have only scored 7 points in those 2 games. And I mean, this is the year that Hillsborough they want that kind of that little bit of a vengeance that they can have. I mean, those kids that were on the 22 squad, those are seniors this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you do if you're Hillsborough, but you need that win. Oaks needs that win to just set the pace for the rest of the year. As I said, Hillsborough's that middle tier. If you can beat Hillsborough, you're in the top tier of the division.
And if you are the second best team, you got to beat Hillsborough.
Yes.
If you are actually the second best team, you don't have a choice. You have to beat Hillsborough, and you have to beat everyone else in this region because, I'm sorry, the region isn't good.
And I'm going to say this right now. This might be the game that decides who's number 1 and 2, or number 2 and 3,
which means home game.
Yes, this could very well decide a home playoff game at the end of the year.
Got to take care of it, and I do think the Tornadoes will take care of it.
I do too.
But man, this game just
important.
Keeps popping out to me. It has my attention, no doubt about it.
What about you and Grafton though? Cardinals versus Grafton. The spoilers coming on over to town for your guys' home opener.
Yeah, how about that? Oaks and Carrington, the last home openers in 11A. How about that? So if Carrington is a playoff team, this is a game you have to win. Like, Carrington's defense has been spectacular. Over the last 6 quarters, Ricky, they have given up 21 yards and 2 first downs.
That's awesome.
That is unreal. Meanwhile, Grafton, they have a 6'7" 170-pound quarterback. who wants to sling it. And they have Reggie Rice on the outside. So Carrington, they need their offense to get a little bit better. I do know of a couple of wrinkles that people have not yet seen that they're going to see tonight. I think they'll enjoy it, too. I was at practice on Wednesday. I think they're going to enjoy these couple of wrinkles because they're really, really cool. But for Carrington, their defenses, and this is with the greatest of respect to everyone else in the division, this is the best defensive team in the class. But they've got to get their offense going. If they do, comfortable win. If they don't, we will all be biting our nails hoping to win it at the end. But if you're a playoff team, you have to beat Grafton. Especially, look at the next 2 weeks on the schedule. At Harvey Wells County, at Park River area. You cannot start region play 0-3. You need to win tonight.
You need that win, and that game coming up in just a little bit. Other games happening that I really just wanted to briefly, quickly mention. You have Park River area and rugby. I think that one's going to be a good one. I think that one's going to be sneakily good. I think Park River area takes it by a very little amount.
I think they take it by a very big amount.
Oh, you think so?
I really like Park River a lot.
I'm going to cheer for the rugby. They have a cool logo, so that's how I'm going to decide with that one.
Okay.
That's how I'll decide. Rugby has a cool logo, and that'll wrap it up for the full 9 yards here. We got our games coming up in just a little bit here as we're running up against the clock, ready for our pre-games. BJ, always a pleasure. We'll meet again next week for week 4.
Good luck, Tornadoes.
Good luck, Cardinals. Again, Cardinals fans, you got your pregame coming up in a little bit. Tornado fans, the Edward Jones pregame show is coming up right after this break. You have been listening to the full 9 yards on the i3G Media Sports Network.
There's no community like a Cenex community. That's why every Cenex store is proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Visit your local Arrowwood Prairie Co-op in Carrington, Wimbledon, Cooperstown, and Sutton.
When you're thinking about insurance, think of Bickett Insurance. Bickett Insurance, through our partnership with Auto Owners Insurance, can take care of your farm, home, auto, business, or life insurance needs. The agents at Bickett Insurance have over 115 years of insurance experience. We know how to design policies to protect the things important to you. Give Bickett Insurance a call today.
Better get Bickett. Bickett Insurance Agency. Better get Bickett. Bickett Insurance Agency.
Here at Sendak Cooperative, we're here to provide you with all the products and services you've come to rely on for your farm operation. Please give us a call for all your fertilizer, seed, energy, and fuel needs for this year's growing season, and let us help you with all your grain marketing decisions. You can contact us today at any of our locations in Central North Dakota or visit us on the web at sendakcooperative.com. Sendak Cooperative, helping farm owners grow and succeed today and into the future.
Hi, this is James at Bassett Motors. Let's test drive a new Chevrolet together. Stack up the savings with discounts and rebates combined with 0% financing for the lowest payments of the year. See us online at BassettMotors.com or call us 701-652-2955. Or better yet, stop in and see our wide selection of new and pre-owned vehicles.
Where our customers send their friends.
This is Rob Kuhneman of Fargo, a current Big Ten, Summit League, and Mid-American Conference basketball official. Why officiate? Almost every referee will tell you it keeps them involved in the game, and they know a lot more about it. If you're a high school athlete or just out of school and want to stay in the game, call your local high school or the North Dakota High School Activities Association at 701-845-3953. It's that easy.
A message from the NDHSAA and this radio station.
Are you looking for secure investment with options? Well, we have a CD special for you. Hi, this is Tiffany Paulson at Bank Forward Carrington. Our triple option CD features a great rate plus the option to withdraw funds, add funds, and change the rate once during the term of the CD. Stop in today for all the details, helping you save with confidence. It's simply the Forward way. Additional terms and conditions do apply. Bank Forward, member FDIC.
The snap is back, and Fritz gets a line drive kick away that is fielded by Zink at the rugby 45. Inside the 35, he angles left. He's got a lot of room. There goes McCain Zink. Touchdown, Carrington.
Zink on the
A 45-yard punt return, the first special teams touchdown of the year for the Cardinals.
Carrington Cardinal football on 100.1 The Cardinal and the Cardinal YouTube channel is brought to you by Gar Dental, Central City Lumber, CHI St. Alexius Carrington Medical Clinic, Professional Eye Care Centers, Carrington Drug, Headlocks, Arrowwood Prairie Co-op, Bickett Insurance, Sendak, Bassett Motors, Bank Forward, High Plains Equipment, Carrington Dental Care, Dakota Central, Bremer Bank, DJ's Home Center, Evans Funeral Home, Leading Edge Equipment, Farmers Union Insurance, Randy Huey Agent, Retzlaff Seed and Supply, Napa Auto Parts, Jamestown Regional Medical Center, Central Pharmacy, and the Carrington Healthy Communities Coalition.
Motion left to right from Corbin Clifton. Handed that way. Peyton Harrington with a lot of room, and he is gone. Peyton Harrington with his first rushing touchdown of the season from 25 yards.
Now, Carrington Cardinal football.
The logo has been painted at the 50-yard line, and the Cardinals are ready for the 2025 home opener. It is also the Region 2 opener as we welcome you to Cardinal Stadium in Carrington. Tonight, Region 2 play does open for two teams who split their non-region tilts. And as the Grafton Spoilers play a visit to the Carrington Cardinals. Happy to have you with us tonight. Our videographer is Wyatt Reed. We are also getting help from Vinny Ruppel, and the Cardinals and Spoilers played two very similar, it seems to me, non-region schedules. Both teams lost their openers a little bit surprisingly. Grafton lost 28-22 to Hillsborough Central Valley. Carrington dropped a 14-0 decision to Southern McLean. Last week, both teams played schools that were in 9-man a year ago, and Carrington defeated Sargent County 14-0. Grafton beat Mayport, Clifford, Galesburg by a count of 28-12. So both teams come in 1-1 on the season, and in that win for the Cardinals a week ago, just a spectacular defensive effort, a 14-0 win over Sargent County. The defense allowed 10 yards for the full game and gave up, I use that term loosely, gave up -3 yards in the second half. Tate Wolski and McCade Zink combined for 222 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns as the Cardinals really dominated. Cody Otto, 3 tackles and 2 sacks in the game. That coming after he was questionable last week for the bigger part of the week. Coach Smith telling us that he said, I'm thinking about sitting you down to Cody, and Cody responded with, well, I might have to be awfully annoying on the sideline if you do that. And so Kyle decided to just let him play. No problem. For Grafton, they have not had one problem that Carrington has had. That is turnovers. Carrington entered this game a -6 on turnovers. Meanwhile, Grafton has not turned the ball over at all this year. They are led by an outstanding quarterback, the 6'7", 180-pound senior, Brady Lillemoen, who is under 50% passing, but he's got 4 touchdowns, and it does not hurt to have Reggie Rice. 9 receptions for 257 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's putting up numbers much like those that a season ago we saw out of Ryder Bickett. And Reggie Rice will be the focal point of the Carrington defense. We'll hear about that later in pregame when we talk to Cardinal head coach Kyle Smith. For Carrington, last year in this game, they scored the first 34 points. Their starters gave up 50 yards of offense. The reserves came in for both teams, and it was actually the game that cemented Brody Lillemoen as the starting quarterback of the Spoilers. He came in, threw 2 long touchdown passes, and the rest of the season he was the starting quarterback, replacing Kyler Drogue. It is also a very special night here in Carrington because it is the home opener, and you can see as we have the wide shot on YouTube, you can see all the vehicles lining up around the fence here in Carrington, getting ready to take in the first region game of 2025. It is Carrington, it is Grafton. There is so much left to do on our pregame report that we had better catch our first break and not waste any more time with it. As when we come back, we will take a look at the region and statewide scoreboard, and we will do that when Cardinal football continues in a moment.
Running tough, running strong. High Plains Equipment.
High Plains Equipment is your authorized Case IH dealer serving farmers around Carrington, Devils Lake, Rugby, and Harvey. When you're ready to invest in a new piece of quality Case IH equipment, their friendly and knowledgeable sales, financing, service, and parts departments will make sure your experience is outstanding. Visit highplainseq.com to connect with your local Case IH High Plains Equipment location. Many dream of 5-star hotels and 5-star restaurants. What about 5-star treatment from your dentist? That's exactly what you'll get at Carrington Dental Care. Dr. J's and Dr. Chaz's gentle, relaxed, and friendly atmosphere will give you a full-service dental experience with 5-star customer service and care. Carrington Dental Care will give you 5-star dental treatment for the entire family. New patients are always welcome. Visit thecarringtondentist.com or call 701-652-2801.
This is Tanner from Leading Edge Equipment. We've got you covered for all your on-farm bulk oil needs. We deliver high-quality John Deere engine oil, High Guard, Cool Guard, and DEF, along with a wide selection of oil tanks and accessories. Call Scott in Michigan, Chuck in Carrington, or me, Tanner in Devils Lake. We're ready to deliver right to your farm. Leading Edge Equipment, your family-owned John Deere dealer in Michigan, Devils Lake, Hamden, and Carrington. Talk to the parts department today.
Do you want to make sure homework time isn't spent on games and video streaming? Dakota Central can help. With Experience IQ, you set limits to ensure your kids aren't playing when they should be doing homework. With premium managed Wi-Fi from Dakota Central, you can create healthier internet habits for your children from the easy-to-use Command IQ app. Learn more about premium Wi-Fi and Experience IQ today at www.dakotacentral.com.
Cardinals and the Grafton Spoilers coming up at the top of the hour. It is opening night in Region 2 play as well. So the other games going on, this might be the best game in 11A tonight. It is 5th-ranked Harvey Wells County coming off the win over number 1 Velva. What do they get? Number 1 Langdon tonight as their reward. Also, Park River is at Rugby, and Turtle Mountain take on the Thompson Tommies. Now, elsewhere in the state in 11A tonight in Region 1, they're also getting underway. It's Mayport CG at Ellendale Edgeley Colm. It's Hillsborough, Central Valley, and Oaks on KDDR, the Tornado. It's Sargent County and Valley City on KOVC, the voice of the Valley. And it is Lisbon and the Northern Cass Jaguars in Hunter. Over in Region 3, Velva Garrison Drake Animus try to hit start on the offense in 2025. It's been a rough go. They're at the Stanley Blue Jays. Bishop Ryan R. Redeemers is at Botno. That's an interesting matchup. Also, Botno's Region 3 debut after moving over there from our region last year. Delax Burlington already up on Tioga 26-0 at the break, and South Prairie Max faces Ray Powers Lake. Now, Central McLean in Region 4 is 2-0. So is Dickinson Trinity. That's a big game for first place. Also, Killdeer is at Hazen tonight. Southern McLean hosts Bowman County. The Rough Riders still haven't lost. And Hart River hosts Beulah. Other games across the region tonight include Windmere Lidgerwood at Lemoore Lidgeville Marion. Now, it was in this game last year that Windmere Lidgerwood's passing game was a problem for Lemoore. But Gunnar Thiel just was a much bigger problem for Windmere Lidgerwood. That was the game that he had 550 yards and 8 touchdowns in one game. That is a season for a lot of guys. That's a career for a lot of guys. He did that in one night. What will you do for an encore this year? Also, the top-ranked team in 9-man, New Rockford, Cheyenne, Maddock, are at Larimore. That is simply a tune-up for next week, because next week it is a big one for New Rockford, Cheyenne, Maddock. North Border are at Midway Minto tonight. One final already. 5th-ranked Grant County Flasher beat Napoleon Gackle Streeter 28-20. And other
Then that one other game on the I3G Media Sports Network tonight, it's Grand Forks Central at Jamestown in AA play, and that is on the voice of the Blue Jays, Jamestown 107.1. The Cardinals and the Grafton Spoilers here. The toss of the coin is about to happen. Carrington has won both tosses this year, and they've deferred their options to the second half on both occasions. And Kyle Smith told me earlier this week, if we win the toss tonight, we're going to defer again, because when your defense is playing as well as theirs is, they've given up 21 yards and 2 first downs in their last 6 quarters. You want to put your defense on the field, no doubt about it. And there you see the toss of the coin. Grafton has called it. The official has put it in the air, and it looks like Carrington have again won the toss. They're probably going to defer, and that's exactly what they've done. Carrington has won the toss and deferred their option to the second half. That does not come as a huge surprise. We'll take a break here, and when we come back, it will be our pregame visit with the head coach of the Cardinals, Kyle Smith. And we will do that when Cardinal football continues in a moment.
Carrington sports fans, want to stay on top of all the local action? Catch what you missed by checking out the Foster County Independent. From game-changing plays to memorable moments, we've got you covered with the most in-depth sports coverage in town. And don't miss our stunning photo galleries that capture every thrilling moment and winning smile. For the latest scores, stories, and stunning sports shots, grab your copy of the Foster County Independent today or visit us online at fosterconews.com.
The world never stands still, and every day brings new challenges to rise to. But nothing says you have to do it alone. Bremer Bank helped small businesses get more than $1.5 billion in PPP loans. And we're ready to help you and your business keep going and growing. Let's see what we can do together. Find out more at bremer.com.
When it's time to buy a new appliance for your home, remember DJ's Home Center. Did you know they are a locally owned business and that they have been serving this great community since 1993? DJ's Home Center services and delivers within 45 miles of Carrington, bringing you the best prices on all major brand appliances. So don't go anywhere else. Remember that DJ's Home Center is your local, low-price, best-trained appliance store. Located right by the roundabout. Go Cardinals!
Committed to serving you with compassion. Evans Funeral Home of Carrington and New Rockford. Always available with the care you require, even at the most difficult time. You can count on Evans Funeral Home to provide guidance and answers when it comes to pre-planning, finding the perfect monument or marker to honor your loved one, or for service arrangements. Contact Evans Funeral Home in New Rockford at 947-2911 or in Carrington at 652-3003.
The home opener is coming up very shortly. Right now, as we continue from Carrington, we're joined by Cardinal head coach Kyle Smith, and confidence is just such a big thing that you can't really match with a stat in this sport. And that's what I took from last week's game. That's a Sargent County offense that is not confident in what they're doing, and your defense very much is.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the case, and our defense certainly picked up where they left off after Southern McLean and did their job. You know, you give up 10 yards of offense, you're going to win almost every time. Offensively, I thought we were much more consistent. Our line looked better, but we couldn't sustain a drive because we couldn't hang on to the ball. Otherwise, I think probably have a lot more scoring opportunities, and I think we had the ball inside the 10 first down a couple times and fumbled. So those things aren't going to happen. We're going to fix those, and we're hoping offensively things look better and better each week.
You know, we talk so much about rhythm and feeling good about oneself, but that goes for you guys as coaches too. Once you noticed that running game was really working with Tate and with McCade, you guys were kind of playing Madden last Friday night. You just kept going to the well because Sargent County really could not stop it.
Yeah, that's a point where you can't overthink yourself. You keep running what's working, and unfortunately we couldn't sustain any momentum because of the ball on the ground and things like that. But a testament to our kids for having that many mistakes. I think we ended up with 6 turnovers, a block punt, and to still come away with, a fairly convincing win. It says something about our team, and like I said, hopefully we can fix those mistakes this week and play a lot cleaner offensively and get better each week. That's what it's all about.
It is a region game. game. It is a home game. Before we get into the X's and O's of this thing, for those who are not around this, how special is a home game in Carrington and what makes it so special?
Oh, it's always special, especially the home opener. You know, you get a big crowd usually. The stands are full. It's full outside the track, people in vehicles, and it's just an atmosphere that it's hard to explain. You know, my son, he ran 5 years of cross country and track in college, and you'd think his best memories would be track and cross country in high school, but his favorite memory was Friday Night Lights. There's just something special about it, unexplainable unless you've lived it and been there, and so it's certainly a special feeling, especially the home opener.
Now, the X's and O's of this game are so completely different than the first two games. You had a couple teams who their identity was at least they wanted to line up and try to push you around. Didn't go so well for either team. That's not what Grafton is going to try to do. They know they can't push you guys around, but they spread the field, they throw it around a little bit, and that's a different kind of a challenge.
It is, and especially their quarterback's 6'6", and he's got a good arm. He's fairly elusive for being that big too, so we need to contain him. We can't let guys get behind us. You know, Grafton will kill you if you're giving up big explosive plays. If you can make them drive the length of the field and earn their touchdowns, you know, our chance of winning are much better. But yeah, they're going to spread it out and throw it around, and they also effectively can run the ball. So we got to watch our cues and know what we're doing, and defensively continue to shut teams down and, you know, get some 3 and outs.
You look at how Max has played at cornerback this year. Through 2 games, teams are already just deciding they're not going to throw to his half of the field. Do you expect to have him matched up with Reggie a little bit this week?
That's certainly our plan. Our plan last week was to have him guard number 2 for Milner, and that's why I called timeout early in the game. It was 3rd or 4th and 10, and I could see them lined up with number 2 out wide, and Peyton was on him, which is just a mismatch height-wise. So I called the timeout. We got Max on him, and sure enough, they threw right there, and Max made a great play, and we need to pay attention where Reggie Rice is at and make sure Max is in the vicinity.
Defensively, this is a team that you guys were able to push around a little bit last year. They seem a little more physical on film. What do you see from them?
Yeah, I think they are. I think they're a little more physical. They're maybe not as big, but they certainly move and they get off the ball a lot better. Our line has to continue to be physical and win that battle in the trenches. I think they're capable of that this week. We're going to have to find, they've watched some film. They played a 3-4, they played a 4-4, they played a 5-3. So we need to be ready for everything, and we need my guys up in the booth to let me know what's going on. And again, whatever defense they throw out there, we need to just know our assignment and execute.
Seems like a weekly question, but both guys have had one really good game. What's the plan at quarterback this week?
You know, both have had a good week in practice. The first game, Max obviously looked better. The second game, Parker looked better. So this week in practice, it's probably a wash. So we'll have to make a decision. Regardless, it's nice to know you've got a backup that's just as capable. And I think those guys are fine with whoever starts, and maybe leave them a little more relaxed coming off the bench.
Certainly seems that way. Kind of strange how that works. I guess it's a credit to the kids. Like, they don't start a game and they don't get down on themselves.
Exactly. And I think they knew all preseason that, hey, you do one thing better, I do another thing better. Let's make this thing work however it works. That's what makes a good team, and those two are certainly good teammates, and they've been really supportive of the other guy when he's in, and when he's not doing well, the other guy comes in and steps it up. So a nice combination to have back there.
Well, Coach, have some fun out there and good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you, BJ.
That is Cardinal head football coach Kyle Smith. We will have the Bassett Motors starting lineups and soon the kickoff of the home opener in 2025 when Cardinal football continues in a moment. Central City H2O of Carrington has all of your beverage, water bottle, dispenser, and vending needs covered. They serve a 15-county area and deliver to home, office, and work sites a line of water and other products. Visit CentralCityH2O.com or call 701-652-2141. Visit them on Facebook for more information about in-home and office deliveries and the products available. Hydrate your home and office. Central City H2O of Carrington. We supply the water and vending you need where you need it.
When you work with your local Pioneer team, you gain hard-working partners who strive to know your every acre. Doug Retzlaff is your local Pioneer Seed sales representative in Carrington. Call Doug at Retzlaff Seed and Supply, LLC. He will do the best to match the right product on the right acre and supply you with unparalleled choices of Pioneer Seed products treated with Lumigen brand seed treatment to protect your investment. Doug and his team also carry a complete lineup of livestock feed and minerals. Retzlaff Seed and Supply, LLC in Carrington, near the roundabout.
Napa is your source for quality auto parts for your car or truck in Carrington. Let us use our Napa know-how to help you find the right battery, brakes, filters, headlights, wipers, or other parts you need to get your job done. We also stock tools, equipment, and many other items for cars, heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farm equipment. Order your parts online or drop by today at 490 8th Street North. Call 652-3663. Your Carrington Napa Auto Parts team looks forward to serving you today.
On
On the field, every second counts. And when injuries happen, you need a hometown advantage. At JRMC Orthopedics, our local team offers fast access to expert care, so you don't have to travel out of town. From sprains and all the way to joint replacements. Every same day, we've got you covered. The best plays start with getting back in the game. Orthopedic care that keeps you moving. It's right here. Visit jrmcnd.com to learn more.
We're back in Carrington. It is the Cardinals and the Spoilers coming up here in just a couple of moments. Right now, it's time for the Bassett Motors starting lineups. Bassett Motors has a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. The sales crew offers friendly personal service. Bassett Motors, where our customers send their friends. Call today, 652-2955. We have already told you that the Cardinals have won the toss and elected to defer their option to the second half, so let's give you the Grafton Spoilers offense. Their tackles are Drew Suda, a senior at 5'9", 185, and Easton Ziegelman, a sophomore at 6'2", 255. The guards are Angel Gomez, a 5'8", senior at 275, and Jack Green, a 6'2", sophomore at 180. The center is Jack Burke, a junior, 6'4", 245. The wide receivers, we will see three of them rotate. Chance Warner-Ovitz is a 6'1", 160-pound junior. Aiden McMillan is a 6', 175-pound sophomore. But the guy is Reggie Rice, a 6', 5-inch, 175-pound senior who has already caught 9 balls for an average of 28.5 yards and 3 touchdowns this year. The tight end is David Jelinek at 6'2", 190, a senior. The running backs, we will see 3 rotate through. Brennan Perez is a 5'6", 200-pound senior. Miguel Rodriguez is a 5'9", 185-pound junior. And Drew Moberg is a 6'1", 190-pound sophomore. And the quarterback is the 6'7", 180-pound senior Brody Littlemoen, who has completed 47% of his passes for 342 yards and 4 touchdowns without an interception. He's rushed the ball 18 times for 49 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now let's give you the Carrington defense tonight and the defensive ends. A 6'3", 220-pound senior Cody Otto and a 6'4", 210-pound junior Alec Threadgold. The defensive tackles are Andrew Matt, a 6'7", 275-pound junior, and Jacob Heinrichs, a 6', 220-pound senior. The linebackers, McCade Zink, a 5'10", 170-pound senior, Gabe Clifton, a 5'11", 160-pound junior, and Tate Wolski, a 6'1", 195-pound senior. The corners are Max Whitman, 6', 1-inch senior at 175, and Peyton Harrington, a 5'7" senior at 155. The safeties, Maddox McAloney, a 6'3", 160-pound senior, and Jacob Basons, a 5'10", 155-pound senior. At some point tonight, the Cardinals will get the football. I think there's a good chance of that happening. And when they do, their tackles are on the left side, Cody Otto, the 6'3", 220-pound senior, and on the right side, Andrew Matt, the 6'7", 275-pound junior. The guards are Jacob Heinrichs at 6', 220, a senior, and Alec Threadgold at 6'4", 210, a junior. And the center is Chuck Jorgensen at 6', 280, a junior. The wide receivers, Maddox McAloney, a 6'3", 160-pound senior, and Peyton Harrington, a 5'7", 155-pound senior. The running backs are Tate Wolski, 6'1", 195, a senior, and McCade Zink, 5'10", 170, a senior. The tight end is Gabe Clifton, 5'11", 160, a junior, and we will probably see both quarterbacks, but the start will go to Max Whitman, a 6'1", 175-pound senior. In fact, in our conversations with Kyle Smith this week, you could see a couple different people take snaps tonight. We'll let the game play out before we tell you too much more about that. The defensive line in a 3-5-3 for the Spoilers. The defensive ends, Easton Ziegelman, a 6'2", 255-pound sophomore, and Drew Suda, a 5'9", 185-pound senior. The defensive tackle is a big boy, 5'8", 275-pound senior Angel Gomez. The outside linebackers, True Moberg, a 6'1", 190-pound sophomore, and Thomas Assand, a 6'2", 155-pound sophomore. The inside linebackers, David Jelinek, a 6'2", 190-pound senior, and Jack Green, a 6'2", 180-pound sophomore. And the middle linebacker, the captain of the defense, is the 5'6", 200-pound senior Brennan Perez. The corners, Reggie Rice at 6'5", 175, a senior, and Chance Warner-Roberts, a 6'1", 160-pound junior. The safety is Aiden McMillan at 6', 175. McMillan already with 3 interceptions this season at his free safety spot for Grafton. And those are tonight's Bassett Motors starting lineups. The spoilers are in white tops with deep maroon numbers outlined in gold, maroon pants with gold and white stripe. Carrington in cardinal red tops with white numbers, black pants with the cardinal red trim down either side, the cardinal red helmet with the cardinal logo on it, while the spoilers have a deep maroon helmet with the gold G on it. Grafton's logo is also my old high school logo back down in Texas, so it's the exact same. It's basically, I think I can say this and not get in too much trouble, it's kind of a ripoff of the University of Georgia a little bit. In fact, I believe my high school had to pay the University of Georgia $1 a year because their logo is the same. I think that's what the deal was back when I was in high school. So, nonetheless, that's the price you pay for having a somewhat cool logo, I guess, these days. Both teams are 1-1. Both teams have lost their opener and then beaten a team up from 9-man a season ago. Grafton's been better offensively. Carrington has perhaps been the best defensive team in 11A to this point because they've given up 21 yards and 2 first downs in their last 6 quarters. Now, I haven't researched it deeply, but let's be honest. Do you think there are a whole lot of teams that have done that? No, I don't either. So nonetheless, that is what we have in store for us this evening. And before we go any further here in Carrington, let us pause 10 seconds for station identification. Live from Cardinal Stadium in the Central City, this is Carrington Football.
The Cardinal is AM 1600 KDAK Carrington and FM 100.1 K261EW Carrington. Locally owned and operated by I3G Media.
Cardinals and Spoilers coming up here very shortly. We will have the introduction of the teams from the voice of Cardinal Stadium, Rick Christensen. And then we will have the kick. Both teams are still warming up. And it gives us an opportunity to tell you that coming up on Sunday night this week in Carrington Sports, we'll have a recap of this, a recap of a very nice first week. Caden Maring must think that coaching is easy after her first week. They've played 7 sets. They've won 6 of them. We'll recap all of that on Sunday night. Plus, Carrington Girls Golf have a state qualifier. Spoiler alert, it's the same one as they had last year. And cross country does well in their home meet. So the teams are about to be introduced here as the Cardinals and Spoilers get ready to begin a new region season here. And they will look at trying to get off to a 1-0 start in the region. Now for Carrington, you never want to label a first region game as a must-win, but it might be a little bit more important to Carrington because the next 2 games are road games against 2 what we think are pretty good teams in Harvey, Wells County, and Park River. And so an important game. Again, we don't want to over analyze how important region opener is, but it is an important one for Carrington, and they will try to get off to a winning start here tonight in Region 2 play. Last year, Carrington started 3-0. This was the third of those 3 wins, and then they had the tough overtime loss, the tough homecoming loss, before they bounced back very nicely towards the end of the season. Right now, it looks like indeed the Spoilers are being introduced to the crowd here in Carrington. And so
guard, number 64,
let's turn it over for a moment to the voice of Cardinal Stadium, and that's Rick Christensen.
At center, number 66, Jack Burke. At right guard, number 58, Jack Green. At left tackle, number 54, Drew Suda. At a running back, number 24, Brennan Perez. At a running back, number 20, Miguel Rodriguez. At wide receiver, number 17, Aiden McMillan. At tight end, number 10, David Zelenek. At wide receiver, number 5, Reggie Rice. And another wide receiver, number 1, Chase Wanarovich. And the quarterback for the Spoilers, number 9, Brody Willimon. The Spoilers are coached by Donovan McMillan, assisted by Cameron Lentz. Now for the defensive starting lineup for our Carrington Cardinals. At defensive tackle, number 77, Andrew Matt. At the other defensive tackle, number 71, Jacob Heinrichs. At one end, number 54, Alec Threadgold. At the other end, number 52, Cody Otto. At outside linebacker, number 34, Gabe Clifton. At middle linebacker, number 10, Tate Wolski. At another outside linebacker position, number 7, McCade Zink. At cornerback, number 6, Peyton Carrington. At the other cornerback position, number 9, Max Whitman. At one of the safety spots, number 12, Maddox McAloney. And at the other safety, number 23, Jacob Beauchamp. Head coach of the Cardinals, Kyle Smith.
The starting lineup's brought to you much better by Rick Christensen than what I did. Much better. I'm not even ashamed to say that. And now we take our final pregame break. When we come back, the opening kick of the home season and the region season when Cardinal football continues in a moment.
Walk with us to prevent suicide. The Carrington Community Out of the Darkness Walk will take place Sunday, September 7th at the City Park. We'll start with a free will donation lunch at 12:30, followed by registration at 1 and the opening ceremony at 2. Want more ways to support? Register as an individual or team at afsp.org/Carrington. Donations are also welcome. Or get a yard sign at your home or business. The 4th annual Out of the Darkness Walk, Sunday, September 7th, organized locally by the Carrington Healthy Communities Coalition.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance. protecting those that protect America's food source.
In Carrington, see Randy Hui.
Rest assured that you'll be treated with the care and respect you deserve at Central Pharmacy. Conveniently located in the heart of Carrington and New Rockford, Central Pharmacy delivers the kind of attention and commitment to improving your health care that the big box stores just can't. Central Pharmacy does it all, from medical supplies to prescriptions, health and wellness concerns. Plus, we have a great selection in our gift, boutique, and decor departments. Visit us on Facebook for up-to-date info. Central Pharmacy, your one-stop in Carrington and New Rockford.
Our national anthem tonight in the Central City. Wyatt Reed with the great shot of the American flag, our videographer. Yeah, it's windy in the Central City. We may as well be Chicago. Isn't that, I think, what's called the Windy City? Yeah, we may as well be Chicago today. It is a 55-degree evening for football, and we're just about ready to go. Carrington will be kicking the ball from right to left as Grafton will get it to begin proceedings. And so we're going to get to see Brody Lillemoen and Reggie Rice against this tremendous Carrington defense.
Association, Aaron Rutter, Andrew Workman, Chris Sukup, Eric Myrick, and out of Valley City, Boyd Westman. Good luck to both teams.
The kicker for Carrington will be Parker Bickett. And back deep to get the kick are Aiden McMillan, Chase Wanarovitz, and Noah Suda. The deep man McMillan stands at his own 6-yard line. It is a very cloudy night, so the lights will take effect rather early, maybe by the second quarter or so here tonight. And here we go with the home opener. Always a special night in Carrington. Wyatt's been giving you a view of all the cars lined up all over the place here in Carrington. Toe meets leather, we are underway. It will be fielded by McMillan on the run at the 16. He angles to his right across the 25, and McCade Zink forces him out of bounds with help from Gabe Clifton at the 27-yard line. And that is where Brody Lillemoen will
on the return
take over. Lillemoen under 50%, yes, but he has not thrown an interception, and he has 4 touchdown passes so far this
First
season.
and 10 spoilers.
He will come out with an I formation, or actually no, a power pistol to the right. The up back is Moberg, and it's a handoff to the deep back across the 25 and up to the 30, spinning his way to the 32, a 5-yard pickup for Miguel Rodriguez.
Rodriguez on the carry for 5 yards.
Rodriguez comes in having run so far this year for just 26 yards. On 2nd down and 5. Now under the center is Lillemoen. He will give it right side. Rodriguez makes one man miss and then gets stood up after a 1.5 yards by Tate Wolski. It will be 3rd down immediately for the Grafton Spoilers. Carrington did not give up a first down or 3rd down conversion a week ago against Surgeon County. Third down and 3.
3 yards to go.
Lillemoen sends a receiver to either side. Reggie Rice is in a slot left. They've moved him inside. On 3rd down, Lillemoen to throw. He steps up. He tries to take off. Now he throws on the move, and it's complete to McMillan across the 45 to the 46-yard line. 12 yards to Aiden McMillan, and it's a first down. Spoilers.
1st and 10 spoilers, tackled by
They
Clifton.
convert their first 3rd down of the night. There was pressure. Lillemoen was able to step up. And now a handoff underneath, a fumble, And I think Carrington may have fallen on this. If they did! Carrington forces a turnover. McCade Zeke has the football. They tried to hand it off underneath, and Lil Moen fumbled.
Zink on the recovery. First and 10
McCade Zink,
Cardinals.
the fumble recovery, and Carrington has the football. So now they take over in plus territory at the 44. We've played a minute and a half on the bank forward scoreboard, 0-0. The start goes to Max Whitman. He comes out with a split backfield, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Shotgun, Whitman stands at the 50, sends a man in motion, Harrington, give it. McCade Zink across the 45 with room, inside the 35 to the 30, and McCade Zink all the way down to the 29-yard line, 15 yards and a first down, Cardinals.
20-plus yards, tackled by number 58, Green.
First down, Carrington, as their first play, and this is something that has not happened in the first 2 weeks. They've not gotten off to fast first quarter starts. Trying to do that this week. Base set. Tight end, wing back left, 2 receivers right. Shotgun for Whitman with Zink on his right hip. Max has the snap, and he will hand it off to Zink again, who's got a little room inside the 25. Cuts it right at the 20. McCade Zink to the 16-yard line. He's got 12 more and another first down. 2 carries for 27 yards already.
Others for the Spoilers.
For McCade, all the way down to the 16. This drive started at the 43. A receiver to either side, a tight end and a wing back to the left. Shotgun for Whitman. Calls for the snap, has it, gives it. Why not? McCade Zink this time is stood up in the backfield, and he will lose a couple.
Zink on the carry, loss of 1 or 2 possibly.
There was some good penetration in there by the big defensive tackle, Angel Gomez. 5'8", 275.
On the tackle.
Gomez. It is second down and 12, Carrington. The ball in the center of the field at the Grafton 18-yard line. They come out with trips right in a tight bunch, and McAloney to the left. Wing back left is Zink. He goes in motion. Whitman, inside handoff, and Peyton Harrington's hit in the backfield for a 2-yard loss, and that time it was Drew Suda. And so now it's third down and long for the Cardinals.
Brings up third down, 3rd and 14 for the Cardinals.
Drew Suda got in there rather quickly. So third down and 14 for Carrington. They come out trips right, wing left. Shotgun Whitman. Calls for the snap. He has it, and he will look to throw. He throws. It's McCade Zink out of the backfield. Can't make a man miss at the 21. He gets to the 20 for a yard, and it is 4th down.
Moberg.
And so Carrington on 4th and 13. I don't know that there's a whole lot of a decision here. It's very windy, and the Cardinals are going to go for this on 4th and 14. They will come out with a receiver to the right, McAloney, trips tight left, shotgun Whitman, Zink on the right hip. Max calls for the snap. He has it. He retreats. Now he steps up. He's hit and he got away. Scrambles right. Takes off inside the 15. Gets to the 10. Dives near the marker. He's about a yard short, it looks like. He's a yard short, and Grafton takes over. He just barely came up short. And it's first down, Grafton, deep in their own territory at the 8-yard line on the left hash. Carrington forced a turnover on the first possession. We're at 7-12, first quarter, no score. Reggie Rice wide left. Under the center, Lil Moen. And he will hand it off. Rodriguez is decked behind the line by Tate Wolski.
Rodriguez on the carry, tackled by
Wolski
Wolski.
flying in to make the play as Rodriguez loses a yard and a half.
We'll call it 2nd and 11 for the Spoilers.
2nd down and 11 coming up from their own 7-yard line. Reggie Rice is wide right, and they've got to switch this. Carrington does, and they do get it done in time. Whitman is on Reggie Rice. Power pistol left and a handoff. Rodriguez. He squirts through the left side and gets to the 10
Rodriguez
for 3
on
yards.
the carry for
It's
about
3rd down
3
and 8.
yards. Tackled by Clifton.
Gabe Clifton in on the tackle. He came in so far this year with 7 tackles on the year, including 5 assists. So it's 3rd down and 8 at the 10-yard line. We approach the halfway mark of a scoreless opening quarter on the Bank Forward scoreboard. Happy to have you with us tonight. Reggie Rice wide left. It's 4 receivers split evenly on either side. The short side is the left side. Shotgun Lillemoen on 3rd down and 8 from the 20-yard line. Sends a man in motion and wants to throw, but first whistles and flags and a false start. And 3rd and long just became 3rd and longer. It will be 3rd down and 13 from the 5-yard line. Danger zone for Grafton. They are just outside the 5 on the left hash. Lillemoen sends 2 receivers right and 2 to the left. Reggie Rice is out to the left on Max Whitman. Shotgun formation, Lillemoen. He stands it as 1. He wants to throw. Lillemoen steps up and just heaves it. Incomplete. He got immediate pressure, and that play never had a prayer.
Pass falls incomplete.
It's a
Brings
3 and
up
out.
4th down.
Carrington should come out of this with pretty good field position. They're at their own 5, back deep to get it. Jacob Basons and Max Whitman, they stand at the Grafton 40-yard line. This will be a punt by Reggie Rice, who will be standing in his own end zone. Now, he does have the wind at his back a little bit, but it's also a side wind. So it's not completely at his back. And they had too many men on the field. Yeah. And so a Dactyl timeout is called by Grafton. Learn more about premium Wi-Fi and experience Command IQ today at DakotaCentral.com. 5:28 to go. Opening quarter. Bank Forward scoreboard says 0-0. And Cardinal football will continue in just a moment.
Guard Dental in Carrington has your smile on the mind. Guard Dental specializes in orthodontics, cosmetic dentistry, teeth whitening, dental crowns and bridges, dental veneers, dental implants, general and family dentistry, root canals, clear aligner orthodontics, sedation dentistry, dentures, lasers, TMJ therapy, and wisdom teeth removal. Call Guard Dental today for family dentistry and beyond. Guard Dental in Carrington, 701-652-2300.
It is 4th down, and Reggie Rice stands in his end zone ready to punt. Now Whitman and Basons have backed to the 45 of Grafton. See if Carrington bring any pressure, or maybe they try to set up a return. They could get great field position. A high snap. They're setting up the return. It's a sidewinding punt that is going to die at the Grafton 32-yard line. The problem is not that it's a 26-yard punt. The problem is that it started at the 6-yard line.
26 yards on the punt.
And so Carrington will have it on the Grafton 32 with 5:18 to play in a scoreless opening quarter. And Max Whitman will come back to the huddle. Whitman will send a receiver, 2 receivers to the right, a tight end and a wing back to the left. The wing is Tate Wolski. Grafton was late getting a player onto the field. Now on 1st down, the shotgun snap to Max Whitman. From the 32, he'll keep it, going right. He gets outside at the 30. Whitman makes a man miss at the 20. He's down the right sideline at the 10. Inside the 5. Touchdown Cards. Max Whitman, a 32-yard touchdown, and Carrington strike first in the home opener. Just a quarterback sneak where he faked it inside, went outside, and there was nobody left. And the Cardinals strike first. It is 6-0. Wow, what a run by Max Whitman. Cardinals lead 6-0. Peyton Harrington has not actually kicked an extra point yet this year. This could be his first attempt. The snap is back to Maddox McAloney. The hold is down, and Harrington's kick is right down the middle. New score on the main forward first quarter scoreboard with 5:06 to play in it. New score, Carrington 7, Grafton nothing, and Cardinal football will continue right after this.
Your first car. It may have been a fixer-upper, but you treated it right. It was your own. That's how Showplace Cabinetry approaches each crafted piece. We deliver it to you with care, because it's our own. Central City Lumber can help you choose the design of your dreams. Give them a test drive. This American-made cabinetry is adaptable to your unique style and built with pride. Every single piece is back for a lifetime. Bet you wish you had that deal on your car. Stop in at Central City Lumber of Carrington, and let's build a beautiful kitchen or bath that really turns heads.
Life is about moments, big or small, joyful or challenging. At Carrington Health Center, we believe everyone in our community deserves compassionate care close to home, so you can focus on enjoying those moments surrounded by the people you love. At our facility, we put the care in
physical therapy,
radiology,
the acute care clinic.
Well, it's not much of a drive summary. One play, 32 yards, and Max Whitman gives the Cardinals the lead.
Back to receive for the Spoilers.
Here's a line drive kick down the left side. It's fielded at the 12, across the 15 to the 20, and Gabe Clifton says that's enough at the 23-yard line.
Return
was there
of
a
about
fumble at the
10
end of that?
yards.
No, there was not. Okay.
Clifton and others there to make the tackle for the Cardinals.
Chance
First and 10
Warner
Spoilers.
Roberts. So 7-0 Carrington. And now this Grafton offense that so far has 21 yards on 6 plays will come back out. And there seems to be some confusion. 2 receivers to either side. Reggie Rice is wide right. Shotgun for Lil Moen with Rodriguez on his left hip. Lil Moen slings it left side, nobody home. His receiver, McMillan, fell down. Carrington jumping on it in case it's a lateral. It's not, it's incomplete.
Pass falls incomplete. Second down for the Spoilers.
It was pretty close, I thought. And whether it's close or not, rally to the football. I know football players are taught that all the time. Rally to the football. Doesn't matter if it's live or dead. Worst thing that can happen is they say, hey, play's over, guys. I mean, it's not that bad. 2nd and 10 at the 24. Right hash with Reggie Rice in a slot left. 2 receivers to either side. Shotgun Lillemoen. Man in motion from right to left. Lillemoen hands it off up the middle and decked at the 26 by, looked like Alec Threadgold was the first one in there, but there is a flag on the play, and it's an illegal formation.
Penalty flag on the play.
Now, it would be 2nd down and 15 or 3rd down and 8. There's actually a funny story about this here. Carrington will not accept the penalty. It is a 2-yard pickup for Brennan Perez on his first run, and it is 3rd down and 8. So last week, Kyle Smith was having a coachable moment with his quarterback when Cody Otto got that sack. Remember that play where we were surprised that he would accept the penalty? He was talking to his quarterback, and the official didn't exactly communicate what the options were as well as Kyle would have hoped. So 3rd down and 8. Twins to either side. Little Moen to throw. He's being pressured. He throws across the middle. It's caught by Reggie Rice for a 1st down. Tackled by Jacob Basons. It's 9 yards on 3rd and 8. And it is 1st down Grafton. Reggie Rice with his first grab.
1st and 10 Spoilers.
And the Spoilers' 2 first downs have both come on 3rd down conversions. They're 2 for 3. They're at their own 35-yard line in the center of the field with 4:20 to play in the 1st quarter. Two receivers left, including Rice. He's wide left. 2 receivers right. Shotgun formation, and everybody moves. And I do mean everybody. On both sides, it looked like. So the officials will get together and we'll get the call. There's a lot of discussion, and it is on Carrington. So 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 5.
Encroachment by the Cardinals.
1st and 5 on the 40. We are at the 3:40 mark of the of the 1st quarter. It's 7-0 Cardinals on the Bank Forward scoreboard. Grafton will come out with twins to either side. Reggie Rice wide left. Shotgun formation with, looks like Brennan Perez in the backfield. Lil Moen calls for the snap, has it, wants to throw. Lil Moen takes a deep shot, left side, that ball's caught. Reggie Rice inside the 25, down to the 22. A 38-yard hookup and a 1st down.
Whitman and McAloney in on the tackle for the Cardinals.
Just a seam route of sorts and a 1st down for Grafton. 59 yards passing for Lil Moen. Split backfield, a receiver to either side and a tight end to the left. The tight end is not Jelinek. We'll check in on that in just a second. Out of the gun, Lil Moen from the Carrington 22 on the left hash. Sends a man in motion to the left. 4 to get the play off. Lil Moen has the snap, throws left side. It's complete to the motion man, and that was Moberg, and he got to the 17 for 5 yards.
With the catch, pickup of about 5 or 6.
Moberg came into the game with 1 catch, so naturally that's his 2nd of the year. 2nd down and 5 on the Carrington 18. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. The shotgun snap to Lil Moen, who hands it to Moberg inside the 15, down near the 10 for a 1st down.
Moberg
8 yards for Moberg.
Wolski and others in on the tackle.
And Grafton with a nice response to going down early. They have 1st down and
also in on that tackle.
Is it 1st and 10 or 1st and goal? That looks like 1st and 10. They can't get a 1st down without scoring. 2:30 and counting 1st quarter, 7-0 Cards. A receiver to either side. Under the center goes Lil Moen. He's got an eye backfield, and he gives it on a pitch to the right. Moberg tries to get the edge. He does, and he's down to the 3.
Moberg on the carry for about 8.
Moberg makes it 2nd down and 3 at the 3.
Otto, all there for
as
the Cardinals.
We dip under 2 minutes to play in the quarter. 2nd down and 3. Check it. 2nd down and 4 officially from the 4, it looks like. On the right hash. I formation Lil Moen. Actually, no, power pistol left. He hands it that way, and in on the play is Tate Wolski immediately. Losing yardage was Rodriguez. And it's 3rd and goal. Real nice play by Wolski.
Brings up 3rd down.
Smith always talks about how much film Tate watches. That was an example of it. He almost knew the play better than the offense did. Now a tight end to the right is Jelinek. Wide receiver left is Rice, and it's Jacob Basons on him. I formation, man in motion, McMillan. And a half roll, stepping up Lil Moen, and his throw is short. He had his man, but the pressure got to him, and it's fourth down. Fourth down and 6 from the 6.
Fourth down.
And I would suspect it might be a go-for-it situation. We'll see what Coach McMillan decides to do. He's looking down to the official, and he wants a Dakota Central timeout. With 46 seconds remaining in our first quarter. And Carrington leading this ball game 7-0. And Cardinal football continues in a moment.
Why choose Professional Eye Care Centers? 3 great reasons are Dr. Bond, Dr. Freilich, and Dr. Jangula. 3 of the most educated professional optometrists you'll ever meet. Next is their many locations. You can now see one of their spectacular doctors in Jamestown, Valley City, Carrington, Edgeley, Ellendale, and Lemoore. And finally, their fantastic selection. And yes,